Welcome, everyone, to this Tuesday session that is filled with so many noises. It's been a very interesting week. Let's begin there. I have a strange quote in my head for some reason. No matter how good of a swimmer a fish is, it can swim in mud. Yeah. Something basically telling you that you are your environment. No matter how good you are, your environment can sometimes limit you. This time I tried to write things on the phone. They don't really, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. But just trying. Speaking of phones, I got a new phone. So new phone hoodies. It's strange because I bought it on Saturday, but still in a box. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm dreading the process. Transferring things from a phone is like a whole process. It's a whole thing. It's a whole, you have to transfer contacts, transfer, it's a whole thing. So it's like, oh, there we go. Not even contacts. Okay, I know there are apps these days that make it easy, but it's like there's usually some things you want to leave in the old phone. Like maybe you don't want to bring the contacts, or maybe you want to set up a whole new chat with a whole new number, or maybe, plus setting up a whole new phone. It's a lot. So I think that's why I've been stalling partly. But the other reason I think is it's a big shift. It's from one operating system environment to another. So, plus I want to film my unboxing. So I haven't gotten a day all time, been busy with life. But yeah, it was expensive. You don't want to know what I spent on it tomorrow, and promise so we leave for the moment. I know. That was Pusha T. Yeah, you don't want to know how much I spent on it. And there's a person who calculated it in cows. Yeah, it's like 10 cows. Yeah. I have nothing to say this week. I've been in a weird zone. I don't know. I'm scared that there's something bubbling in me that's about to burst or whatever. I don't know. I don't have that much energy. Or not motivation, but it's like, kind of feels like, the things I go through and you're like, should I talk about this on tape? It's like, anyway. But people have been telling me that I'm going to do great things, or I'll become a great person, or I should consult, or I should start a consulting agency, or I should, things in that realm. And I'll talk about this because I don't know. I first heard about, not first heard, but it first came to my realization that, maybe there is something here when I was in Toronto. So there was this gentleman who were in Entrepreneur Circle, Poach community, very good community in Toronto. If you're ever in Toronto, please find them and join them. And Neil and Hunter, great people. So, they had held this get together at 111. And so, yeah, we meet, talk, meet new people, exchange contacts and all that. And then we are walking back, and I'm walking with this gentleman. He's from Tunisia. And, I'm just talking. So, yeah, he tells me about his business, how he wants to start business, what he wants to do, how he's going hard. And I'm just, talking, give my insights. I'm like, oh, yeah, you should try this. But, in business, it's about this and this and this. And, I've been doing this for a while. And, you tend to consume a lot of content while you're walking down a path. I've watched so many entrepreneur videos, the Simon Sinek's, the Who's, mentioned them, I've listened to them. So I'm trying to kind of just give the same information, give my experience, try to advise here and there. But I'm just talking, normal conversation. And I remember as we're leaving, we're parting ways, he had reached his station and was going to get his streetcar, trams. I think that's what other nations call them. And he told me, he's like, you know what? You're really a good listener and you should actually start consulting. You really know something about these business things and should start consulting or a consulting agency or business, consultation. And I'm like, this is a person from another part of the world. And it's the first time I'm meeting them. I didn't even think that's what I was doing because I was just talking, And he tells me, you really should. You're really good at this. And that's the first time that thought came to mind. And I don't know what to do with that, though. And he wasn't the first. From there, so many people have told me the same thing. You're just in a conversation, you're talking, talk about business ideas and all these things, and you talk about how to start, I don't know, how to do things, how to do life. And all of a sudden, someone's like, you should really look into this, or you should really start an agency, or you should really do consultation, or you should really do, sessions, or I don't know. It's always something in that realm. And I got to this week, Monday, almost the same time I was from one room talking to a bunch of guys, and one of them is like, oh, you should start something in that room. I don't know what words to even use because I don't remember the exact words, but it's something in that realm. Then I'm like, oh, you're not the only one who has ever told me that. And then I move to another room. I go to my class and I'm talking to this other gentleman. And he kind of tells me the same thing, but in a different perspective. He's like, maybe you should start. How did he phrase it? It was like, I don't know, but it was like talk sessions or something like that. Or, advice sessions or something like that. Or, panels where you give your view on things. And I told him the same thing that I'm talking about here. So many people have told me about this, but I don't know how to start or what to do or what to start or how to do that. I've started so many products, so many companies. Okay, yeah, so many. But I don't know how to turn this into maybe a consultancy. I don't know. And what will I be? How do you get market? I don't know how to sell something that is not a product. Let me put it that way. I don't know how to tell someone, hi, come and I would advise you about your business and you pay me. That seems, apparently I have the knowledge and I know a lot of things. Actually, the second gentleman in class, it wasn't even about business. It was just about, we're talking about how your environment, actually that's where that quote is from. No matter how good of a swimmer a fish is, it can't swim in mud. That's what that quote was from. I was talking to him. I'm like, oh yeah, we're talking about environments and, being able to flourish when you're put in another environment versus another, all that stuff. We're talking about general life. And I was telling him about the human behavior, biology, and, how much we are products of our environment and how if you take that across most, even outside us, our species, us human beings, even you'll find that all the other animals, because at the end of the day, there's a being that's interacting with its environment. That's all it is. So I'm telling you about all that. And it's like, you know what? You have a lot of knowledge and you should kind of and I was like, it's strange. You're not the first person to tell me that, but I don't know how or how to start or what to package it as. Input that way. Some people are telling me this, but I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell them. And they're right. I do have a lot of knowledge. That's why I do these talks, because I have a lot in my mind. And somehow I feel it's not important. I don't want to put so much importance on myself, but I feel like it's kind of useful. And I know how it helped me. And I know if there's someone out there who hasn't yet had this information, maybe they'll hear it and to kind of help them in whatever form or shape or way. And I just want to do that, And maybe this is one of them. This is why I talk about these things, because the more you talk about your ideas, the more you refine them. And this has been studied. There's if you watch the late Winston's classes on artificial intelligence, those classes have nothing to do with AI. They just make you, he's just, I don't know, just go watch them. But he does mention somewhere there about, first of all, it's scientifically proven that people who talk to themselves are like smarter, better. Not the insane, crazy lady talking to herself on the street kind of way, but like if you're in class, they don't know these experiments. If you're in class and one person, when they're studying, let's say, talks to themselves while they're studying and another person doesn't, the person talks to themselves. If let's say you have the kind of same level of IQ and you're trying to find what the differentiate all factors held constant, the person talks to themselves, does better, understands concepts better, which makes sense because now if you go to the human brain and inner workings of that, you'll find that at the end of the day, this is a different medium because it's all about how your brain processes information through what kind of mediums. That's why they tell you to write down things, because if you're writing down something, your whole mind, first of all, that's one channel. If let's say writing is processing this part of the brain, it has perceived what you're talking about. And then you talk about it, talking is perceived in this part of the brain. Now also that part knows about it. This is just simplifying everything, but just to give you an idea. And then maybe that's why they tell you also the best form of learning is teaching. Because the more you talk about something, the more you understand it better, now that talking doesn't only stop at talking to other people. Even talking to yourself kind of helps. So that's partly why, I don't want to get into all that. But this is partly why I do this, that I kind of talk through my ideas and, because let's be honest, very few people understand most things that you understand. It's very rare to find someone who likes the same interests as you, talks about the same things as you, and who you can kind of like, and yet your ideas are valid, your mind is valid, whatever it is is valid, and the more I'm spiraling. But yeah, so I don't know what to, so the more you talk about, if you write it down, then you talk about it. So this part knows about it, this part knows about it. The more parts of your brain that know about it, the more you're likely to remember. It's like you're forming more roads, leading to the same direction. You're building different roads to the same direction, that's to the same destination. That's better than having just one road. That's kind of way to think about it. So if let's say your destination is I want to remember math, if you build several roads to math, it's better than just having one road. One road may be I just sit in class and stare at the math. That's one road, but that's one road. Then the other way could be I sit in class, stare at the math. I go home, write the math, another road. I talk about the math, another road. If you could smell the math, even better, because our biggest sense of memory is attached to smell. That's why you will be walking in the streets and someone has a perfume maybe your dad or mom or auntie had when you were younger, and it like, olfactory, what's the sense smell called? Whatever, smell, very, very strong. It's actually our strongest, attached to memory sense kind of thing. So anyway, I digress. People are telling me I should do these things, and that person actually last Saturday when I was buying, when we did all these things, told me, told me, you're going to be a great person, you're going to do great things, and they're not the only one. I remember there's and I feel like I'm blowing my trumpet, which I'm not. I'm just trying to find a way to kind of realize all this greatness, not greatness, but like all these great things that people see in me. Because I also know it. I know I'm not going to be a basic person. I'm going to do great things, but I feel like I should have like started or been on the path by now, which maybe I am and just don't know it. But that that thing of we never see how much progress we've covered. We've only see what we haven't. If this is like your journey and you're here and you're trying to get to here, you will never see that you've moved this much and you're only left with like this little. You always see that I've only left. You never see, if you're trying to get from step 1 to 10 and you're, let's say, step 8, you will never see that, oh shit, I've covered 8 steps. No, you only see, our brain is wired to only see that I'm not yet at 10, I'm not yet at 10, I'm not yet at 10, which makes most people give up. You've seen that meme of a guy digging for gold, that cartoon drawing of a guy digging for gold. Then when he's about to strike the gold, he turns around and gives up. Yeah, that's how our brain sees. We are so close, we're almost reaching. But since we haven't yet reached, we think we are still at 0. Yet we're at 8. So the trick there is to like kind of always look back and be like, yes, I'm not yet at 10, but hey, I'm at 8. It's not as bad. So if you can train your brain to kind of do that, it's a better way to think about these things. So maybe I think I'm facing the same thing. Maybe I'm already on this path to do these great things that people see in me, but I don't feel like it. I don't see them. I don't walk around like I feel like I'm still yet to get on the road to do these great things that people claim I'm going to do. And I was saying, they're not the only one. There was this friend who is also in the US, a very good friend to my cousin, childhood friends, long-time friends. So when he found out I'm coming, I remember my cousin showed me the text that he sent him, and it was like, that car guy, that guy is going to do great things and he's going to be a millionaire. And I remember this clearly because I was like, oh wow, and it's going like a millionaire, and even in dollars. So like people know I'm going to do all these great things, or they see it in me, but I don't feel like I'm already on that path. And it's not a doubting thing that I doubt I won't do it. I know I'll do it, but I feel like I haven't yet started. I don't know. And this is why I talk about these things, so that I can kind of figure it out as we go along. So yeah, that was my number one item on the thing. People telling me I'm going to do great things. I hope I don't let them down. Yeah, I won't, hopefully. But that's kind of I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about. Commercial break. Since we didn't have music at the beginning, let's play it now. Oh wait, that didn't play. Yeah, let's play the music. Nope, wrong music. Music bed. Nah. So today I was supposed to be doing my first commercial break though. Dun, 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 dun. All I want is you, sugar. Now that you're gone. All I want is you now. I had that song as I was coming here, which is what I like about this. I haven't had that song in a while, but I was walking and some guy was playing it in the streets. I was like, oh wow, kind of like that, small surprises like that. Talking is tiring. Also, New York sirens are really loud. I don't know why. So that was supposed to not film. I was supposed to record the pilot or just to start the pilot to the university's podcast. And the future co-host slash first guest of the episode had things to do last minute yesterday night. So that's why this is on a Wednesday and not a Tuesday, which reminds me I should rename that title of that video. So it's only going to be Talk Tuesdays. Or I'll do Talk Tuesdays alone and then come back on Wednesday. But, I don't mind not hosting that podcast. I just want, my credit there created by Emmanuel. Because the more I think about it, it's like 2 Africans hosting a podcast for New Yorkers. And so, I don't know. I may leave her and maybe get some other guest, so some other host, male host. But the question is who, But it is what it is. We'll do what we can and see. Rather start than not start. Yeah, it's been a weird yesterday and today. It's funny the things that bother my head these days and stay with me. Anyway, I don't like talking politics, but someone won. So here's my take. I don't like politics. I don't even know politics. But to me, the thing I'm dreading, not dreading the most, but the thing that we all, not all, but the thing I know is coming. When Trump was president, it was like, I've never in my life seen one guy make news every single day for 4 years straight. That was impressive, to be honest. Like every single day there was a headline about Trump. So that's what I'm dreading. Not the whatever he's going to do or doesn't do, whatever his policies. I don't give a shit. Your life doesn't change by the man that's elected. The song is called There Was a Dream, something. Avad Brothers. Maybe it will change. My life will change. I don't know. But I don't really care about much. But it's more that now I know that all my news headlines, all my news sources, every single news channel I'll ever turn on for the next 4 years is just going to be him. Like, that's what I'm dreading. That's what I don't like. It's not like I don't like that guy. I'm not a political guy, so I don't care about whatever side wins, really. At the end of the day, it's like, do you want the puppet on the right or the puppet on the left? If you've watched Waking Life, which you should, because that's the greatest movie ever done on this planet. If you can even call it a movie, it's called Waking Life by Richard Linklater. Fantastic movie. In there's that line, do you want the puppet on the left or the puppet on the right? That's how I view politics. Whoever wins, still a puppet. So, to me, it's more of like, and as when they started, I opened my Wall Street Journal every morning, and the top 3 headlines is just him, which is like, and it makes sense because these are news sources. They have to sell news. They have to go with whatever is trending at the moment. But I remember that clearly, and I remember talking about it with my friends. I'm like, you guys, isn't anyone seeing this? Like, I'd never seen this. I've not been around long enough in this planet. I'm only 30 something years, but I'd never seen every single day a person be in the news for even after. It's like, what the? So yeah, I don't like that. Because for the next 4 years, that's all your news is going to be about. Switch on CNN, Fox, whatever thing you're going to watch news from, there will be a headline about what Trump has done, said, not done, or not said, or something, which is amazing to me. as a businessman, I admire the marketing insanity. And I listened to his podcast his talk with, what's that guy? Let me see, I'd find him. It was a long podcast. And in there, the guy clearly, Lex Friedman episode of, and the guy clearly tells him that, I'm the most famous man in history, and probably this episode of me on it is going to be your most viewed episode. That was Trump telling Lex Friedman, like, me coming to your podcast this episode will most likely be your most viewed episode of all time. Like, the guy knows his media attraction. He knows the numbers he brings on media, which I commend. I admire as a businessman to have that much media. No publicity is bad publicity. At the end of the day, it's all publicity. Even the hate that is thrown at him is still publicity. There's no such thing as bad publicity. It's just publicity. Even though the publicity coming at you is bad, it's still publicity. That's why he's winning, because he has publicity. People think it's bad publicity, but it's still publicity. Even though you're telling me that guy is bad, you're telling me about him. If you didn't tell me, I wouldn't even know him. Tell me that lady is bad. Now I know about her. I didn't know about her before. Publicity. So I admire that whatever his marketing team does, it works like for 4 years straight. And maybe I'll get back to this in 4 years' time. For 4 years straight, that man is going to be in the news every single day, which is insane to me. I have never seen anything like that. I've never known anyone, not even Jesus. So he claims to be the most famous person in history. Probably is, because if you can make news for 4 years straight every day, then you probably are. Trust me. Anyway, that's my political take. One last thing. So I've been battling whether I talk about this or not, and I don't want to. But I know I need to. So I'm trying to go brush out as many factors as possible. I had an incident yesterday where I kind of raised my voice at an authority figure, and not raise my voice. I just asked a question really loudly because I was agitated. It was a long period of boil up, things where I don't understand what this person wants from us. But again, I'm doing badly and I don't know why, and it's not being articulated well. The instructions are unclear, and then you fail, and then it's like, you are supposed to do this, but you're telling me after the fact, So I'm thinking, maybe, it's just me and my group, and we are not really doing that well, maybe. So I thought, it's because I don't know what the other people are doing, so I assume, I'm not doing that really well. But then yesterday I find out, actually, no. Everyone else is even doing way worse. Like, people are even way worse. People don't even the simple mistakes which we got over in week 3, people are still making those mistakes. So to me, it was like, wait, so why is my group getting less marks for doing things, and there are groups that are clearly way off, way off, but they're still getting better marks. So it was like, what the? And the reason is I'm not seeing, it's not being justified properly. It's like, I don't know. So, I try to keep my cool, but, I'm kind of agitated, and I ask a question. I'm like, okay, you're telling me not to do it like this, but that is the only way I know how to do this particular part of it. So how do I, and they're not giving me an answer. I'm like, I don't know. So I was too loud, and then came off as me arguing. And then there was silence in the whole class. And to make it worse, they were like, okay, let's go for a break. Yeah, it was that bad. So I don't know. I'm talking about it because I know maybe I most definitely didn't handle the situation properly, but I don't know. Maybe that's something that's boiling or brewing. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. I puzzled a lot whether I talk about this or not, but I also know that, first of all, no one watches this. that's a good thing that I can talk whatever nonsense I want on here and get my therapeutic, just let it out and not have that many people watch it. And if it does go viral, I can always take it down. But it made me not realize, but kind of understand. Because I remember when I realized what was happening, when I realized, oh, this is coming off as something bad, I just kept quiet. I didn't know what to do in that moment. I didn't know whether to continue speaking or maybe continue asking, or I just kept quiet and froze. And I'm like, oh, I did something wrong maybe. And I wasn't. I just asked a question, maybe loudly. I'm a very vocal person. It wasn't with bad intentions, but I wanted, to be reframed that, okay, don't do it like this, do it like this, or try this, or try this. That's essentially what I was asking. And I just want to be guided on that, because you're failing me for doing it my way, and you're not telling me how it's supposed to be done. So, I'm asking. Like, you should know. So, but then in that moment, I realized how most people, I don't know how to phrase this, but how to handle, like, I used to sit there and be like, don't people know how to conduct themselves, or know how to, you see those movies and you see the awkward kid who does something weird and you're like, don't they know what to do or how to handle a situation? First time if I felt like that person who people look at and they're like, oh, didn't his mom or his whoever tell him what or what not to do? First time ever I felt like that. Because it was like, oh, it's now come from a consulting discussion thing to something, else. And I just froze. I just kept quiet and let the awkward silence be, and everyone in the room kept quiet, and and I didn't know what to do in that moment, which made me kind of understand every single thing you see. All the movies, the best thing I can think of now is like Shrinking. No, not Shrinking. I don't know what example to use, but when you're in that moment and you don't know what to do, how to handle a situation, how to behave, how not to behave, so you just freeze. And I've had that where people talk about, oh, and I just froze, and I'd never known what that means, because this is different backgrounds, different people, different everything. So what you may think is how you resolve something may not be, or how you talk about something, not resolve, but how you talk through something, or how you arrive at a conclusion is not how most people may arrive at a conclusion. So it's like you just, I know I'm not bringing this out well. That's another thing. I know what it feels like and what it is in my head, but finding the words, and plus English is a very limited language. But yeah, it's been bothering me. It's been on my head. And I feel like I did something terrible, which I didn't. Okay, I did. No, not shouting. Asking a question loudly. So I don't know. I don't know how to handle that. I don't know how to process that or think about it, or I don't know. Maybe I'll go see a counselor. Schools have those I've had. And not because of, but because I've never felt like that. I've never felt like I've never felt like the people you see on TV. Because you don't know. You don't know that you've done something wrong or something right, all, but the feedback feels like you've done something wrong. But your definition of wrong is like, but I haven't done anything, So that not knowing, and yet it feels like you have. I've never, I don't know. So much context is kept out, but I don't know. Maybe the more I talk about it, the more I'll talked about it with a few friends who are like, yeah, means not misunderstandings, but things like that do happen. It's not, I don't even care about the situation or whatever. To me, it's how I felt and how I thought about it after the train home and all these things and what it was doing to me. It was like, something new here there is something new to uncover about yourself here. And I want to go down that path and see what that thing is. Or how to, I don't know. There's something there and I just want to scratch it. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even scratch or try to find out, or shouldn't. I just don't know. But there was something. There is something. And I just want to acknowledge that there was something that I realized and not learned. Maybe realized, learned, not found out, felt that I'd never felt before. Yeah, felt is a very good word. Something that I felt that I've never felt before. Something that came to my peripheral view. Peripheral? Is that the right word? That I'd never before. And I just don't want to ignore that or just brush that off, because that's, I don't know. That's at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. I felt something that I'd never felt before. Something came to my realm of existence that I'd never before. Something new came and I just don't want to not forget, but I don't want to ignore it or not do anything about it. What I'm supposed to do, I don't know. I do not know. I'm only human. But there is something there. That's all I am. That's the place I'm at right now. There is something there that I don't know if it's even about me or in me or around me or whatever, or even it's not, I don't know, but there was something and I just want to acknowledge that. So in conclusion, I have a new phone I haven't unboxed, which I will, and I'm going to start shooting movies and music videos with it. And then, I'm dreading seeing news be all about one guy for the next 4 years. And yeah, it's 40 minutes, so it's a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday, but we are here. It is cold. New York is getting colder now. Yeah, yesterday I really felt it. It's time for real jackets and real gloves and all that stuff. And yeah, let me go chill. Maybe talk to some people, get some communal energy, get some friendly feedback. But you see, this is why I talk about these things. I already feel not better, but I feel lighter about everything. Free therapy. Bye, internet. Where's my music?